Hi, Jen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. And today we're excited. We have a wonderful guest that we've been wanting to join us for quite some time now. Her name is Elena Nichay, and Elena is a wonderful teacher and also a light worker and healer. But specifically, she is a hypnotherapist. She also channels, and she is the co-owner of the website SoulScribe. Elena, thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
So, why don't you start? Since today we're going to be speaking specifically about, regardless of all the different modalities that you are certified in, we thought it would be interesting for us to reach out to our viewers out there and discuss how hypnotherapy can be a wonderful tool for individuals who are battling different types of addiction.
hmm
Why don't you start by, if you wouldn't mind, talking a little bit about how you got into this?
hmm So, I started really early for me. Since I remember, I had a dreams every night that I am actually travel somewhere around the earth and picking up people and transfer them or like welcoming them and guiding them on another side that we know, and it could be another countries, it could be another language, totally, but it's like everything is telepathically, so you don't need that another language on another side. So that's what I was doing at first, as I remember. Then I did have some provision, visions of people either passing away or dying, like that I know, and I would see how they passed away or how they drowned and where are they to find them.
Hmm.
Then it was around 21st birthday. I moved to US when I was 21, and I was having very uh big push in my visions and head and everywhere that I need to go and receive some knowledge about Reiki. So, which I did. I found a school next to me. I did the Reiki. I'm a Reiki master, level 3. I did that, but then my mom moved with me in US, and she have a knee problems and joints. So I did the Reiki on her, and I felt like there is something more there that I need to learn, about the energies and how, like I could help her, but it would not stay for long.
Yeah.
So I start reaching out, looking around, and I found Dolores Cannon. That was my first hypnosis. I really resonate with her, with the dreams, with everything completely. It felt like, oh, finally I found someone who speak my language. Here we are.
Wow. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you guys know what that means when
No,
you heard
exactly.
Dolores, right?
Well, certainly,
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, Jen, but if it wasn't for Dolores, I wouldn't be sitting here today. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like this is my people. Here we
Mhm.
are.
Right,
So
right.
I was no doubt, just go learn. I level 2 now, and then I had sessions where I started having sessions, healing my mom. She have some improvements. Thank God, it really helping. But as I learned, it's a process with her. It's not so much as a bones and muscles, and it's more like mind. And if are you ready for it? What you wish for. Are you ready for that? So it's a process. We're still working on it. Uh, but I start receiving clients where they have voices, would come through and say some darkness, in them. So I realized that I need more. to what to do in that kind of situations. And I call around some practitioners, and they recommend me uh, introspective hypnosis. Antonio Sancho, he have a few modalities in his introspective hypnosis classes, and I really like how he, approach those kind of traumas and all kinds of, different kind of angle, looking at to the different traumas and different situations that people get themselves in.
Right. We dove pretty deeply into introspective hypnosis on our last podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
yep,
our last
yep.
episode.
So it's really good. It really helping me now with my clients. And so of course I learned BQH as well, so I can reach more people through the, internet, through the Zoom and Skype, whatever they have
Will you tell us
virtually.
what that is for those of us who don't know?
Yes, so BQH, there is a very similar difference in there, uh, but very similar to QHHT, but BQH do give you uh, have a good induction to, and when you take people out of, kind of mentions in an induction that is okay, uh, if in case internet will be disconnect you, or some kind of issues with the Zoom or whatever, that would be okay for you to wake up and reset yourself back into the phone call or call us back. It's okay. So when you're saying subliminal words, that helps people. They're not stressed out or scared, oh, what's gonna happen, maybe I will never return, something like that, which
Sure.
is,
Yeah.
we know all now it's very silly, it never happened. So that helps.
And that's beyond quantum healing, right?
Beyond quantum healing, they have great stuff as well. They just all of them, all those modalities that I'm talking about, they all wonderful by themselves. They have
Yes.
something in them that really, I mean, I'm using it, all of them, sometimes a few of them in the same session. Depends where the people go in. You never know when they're gonna land it, or what kind of trauma they have to tackle that time of their life.
And it's my
Yeah.
understanding, Elena, that
Mhm.
BQH was sort of a springboard from QHHT, correct?
Yep,
Okay.
that's true.
All right. So she was,
Candace, yeah, Goldman. She was one of the Dolores, sort of right hand, as far as I know.
right, right. And so one of the advantages of BQH is that she can, you can in fact do sessions online,
Hmm.
whereas I believe with QHHT, uh,
Yeah.
they're not comfortable with that. They really sort of encourage
Hmm.
in-person sessions, right?
Right, because also induction, as I said, they have that subliminal words that set people, clients, into sort of, parameter. Do you
Yeah.
feel good about yourself, and you feel protected, and it's okay if it's, disconnect happens somehow.
That's great.
Yeah.
And like some souls or energies really like to play sometimes with electricity and
Yeah.
internet. I learned that, but that's why, like, it's wonderful that they have those subliminals words in the induction, so it's okay to go back again. We just, dive in even deeper, sort of work.
So do you use all three when you are specifically dealing with addiction?
Yes. Yes, I notice I do. And I also use channeling. I started channel 2 years ago, very successfully now. Uh, try all kinds of way, and it's really, really helped me during the sessions. So it happened when, I would say 90% of my clients, before they come to me, of course, I talk to them on the phone a tiny bit, before they come. So kind of know each other. Them, uh, different type, different entities, either them higher self or who passed away, people in the family, loved ones would come to me like day before, and they would just tell me things about them, what they need to work on it. Sometimes they even say uh, they are the one who planted this session.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're
That
the
is
one who
that is
ordered
just absolutely fascinating to me.
Yeah, and I would, and they would be very funny. It's I'm very eager always. Right before the session, I would dress myself, shower, brushing teeth, all that, and they would be right there telling me what to wear
Wow.
in my closet, and they would be just, nope, not that no, this one it has to be everything black, or it have to be everything like yellow, or the flowers. And when
Because
the
because
client comes,
is
I
that
match them.
oh wow.
I
That
would
is just wild.
completely match them, and I'm like, oh, they did it again, here we are.
I'm sorry I was interrupting, but I was just going
Uh-huh.
to ask the question, is that because we know that colors evoke certain vibrations and certain energy?
I don't even know,
In
I never
fact,
asked yet.
you answered it. It was because they wanted you to match your client. That
Uh-huh.
is amazing to me.
I'm like, are you into the flowers? And the lady say, oh yeah, I'm a uh
A
what's
florist.
that? Florist. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, that's my
Wow.
business. I'm like, oh my God. They make me water all my orchids next to the front door, uh sweep the floor. They're like pruning up. I would be like, like bring my mom. I bought my mom flowers, a bouquet another day, and I put it in her room. I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry, I have to take this for today in session. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, they say, and I have to bring all the flowers in the room and make sure everything looks pretty.
So, Elena, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You have a lot of considerations to, especially with other people guiding you
Yes.
into the sessions. Who do you feel or consider to be your ideal client?
I think anyone really in this point. It could be somebody just looking for spirituality. They just try to tap in them toes in and see if it's safe, or is it right thing to do, or is this something like that exists, sort of, questions.
Yeah.
Or people who have a very deep traumas, from high school, or childhood, or I don't know,
Sure.
maybe a very rough, nasty divorce, it
Mhm.
could happen, or just abuse.
So when you're
Uh,
talking specifically about addiction,
yep.
you find that these clients who are fighting
Hmm.
this kind of monkey on their back, so to speak, they often have areas where they experienced a lot of trauma, not only
Yeah.
in this lifetime, but
Yeah.
sometimes other lifetimes as well, correct?
Yep. Yep. Also, as have tap into unknown, sort of like every time it's something new I find out. It's like learning every day happen. It's a classroom. It's not the room for sessions. It's a classroom for me and my clients, I'm sure. Because as I find out, so addiction could come from attachment. Attachment could give them that sensation, to drink or to eat.
Mhm.
I have one attachment. We were not even looking. The client never even mentioned this. She have addiction.
Mhm.
We were just looking for the relationship with the boyfriend, right? But when we get in, she have attachment who was a country boy, mechanic, drinking, and he have very deep depression, and he was alcoholic. And he fixed his, like, he explained to me everything amazingly. and I really appreciate it. I kind of learned a whole lot of stuff from attachments. He said he ran into the tree, killed himself, and a moment that he sees this girl playing on the playground, he connects with her. She was 7, and when I talk to him friendly way and always respect all the souls that I'm talking to, it's very important. As I learn. Friendly conversation, he said, you know what, I wanna tell you something since we are talking, close, and um I'm sharing with you my life. I'm like, yes, please share with me. He says, I make her drink one day, when she was 7. I'm like, wow, that's kind of early, and you pushed her. He says, yes, I really was craving alcohol in my throat, like when it's going down. The addicts will understand me. He says, you don't understand me, but if you would be craving drink, that would be like in your throat, so I make her do it. I'm like, you can actually do that? He says, yes, but she drinks it. She didn't like it, but I did give it to her addiction, and she chose food.
Uh,
I'm like, wait a minute. So it's a thing. It's like
so he jumped on looking for the taste of alcohol,
uh-huh.
but her physical body was not interested in that.
Not
And
physical body. It's a choice. So
okay, so it was a choice,
it's
but
a
she
choice.
chose then a food addiction instead. That's
She
that.
like override it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like
Yeah.
Well,
it's
our
addiction, but I
our
can override it.
our will is very strong.
Mhm.
It can be very strong.
SoulScribe AI is an advanced searchable directory just for holistic health and healing practitioners that offers a full spectrum of support. The directory leads to SEO-friendly individual landing pages where your new customer can contact you directly. This offers a huge savings in both time and money for those who don't have a website. Then, make yourself known with the Quantum Explorer Collective, an ecosystem of social media platforms where you engage with potential clients and even promote your own practice. If you need help with developing your digital presence, check out our course. We'll walk you through creating this critical foundation for you to grow and shine. Let us know when you're ready, and we'll film a professional interview and connect you with podcasts. We invest in you by advertising the directory and highlighting your work. You'll even learn how to use AI tools to automate much of your tasks and create stunning videos. Sign up today.
I'm sure that people ask you these questions, but when people do come to you that
Mhm.
feel that they do have addiction and they
Yes.
would like to have help with it, we know, and science has been able to prove that a lot of people with addictions have some sort of mental disorder or
Mhm.
chemical imbalance going on with their bodies and with their brains. And the
Mhm.
addiction is there to sort of self-medicate.
Yes.
So how do you screen? Do you screen for mental illness first? And if so, if they are able to say they have a mental illness, what do you do in that case?
I was thinking about it first that I should, but then I realized there is many people who come to me, they not they were not give that sort of title from doctor yet, or
Yeah.
they just not interesting, like if so it depends where the person work, I
So
guess.
undiagnosed then.
Undiagnosed,
Yeah.
most of them. hmm
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, maybe it's not even important, because when you deal with the traumas, or when you talk to oversoul, the higher self, some people call it higher self, they don't know those terms, you know. They just speak as either with the organ, or with the behavior. or what the trauma, but they don't know when you tell them, um, all those medical terms.
Yeah.
They would be like confused. What is that?
Yeah. How do you tailor your approach? You know, with
Mm-hmm.
all of these different things going on, how do you, hone in on that individual with what's going on with their addiction, their particular addiction, and their
Mm-hmm.
particular background?
So I usually, if they know they have addiction and they want to tackle and they ready to fight, with I do have few sessions with them, uh between 1 and 6. It was like the most, when person need to find themselves. They need to understand what they're fighting for, what's the plan in the future, if it's worth it for them. It's sort of like, they have to find themselves again. Who are they? What's the plan in life?
Yeah.
They need to understand. So they lost the spark for life in somewhere, in the past,
Yeah.
and they start self-medicating themselves, with different approaches, so they need to find that spark again, and so they know what to fight for.
Hmm.
And then we continue, then in the process of finding themselves, I'm sort of investigating where is the trigger. Sometimes it's few triggers, it's not actually only one, and I need to go in the past, when it started, uh, maybe even in this life only, if it's attachment. It's all kinds of very different ways, uh, as I find out it could be, so we're looking and searching. They searching for themselves, and I'm searching where is that trigger.
Yeah.
We gotta dig it and find it. And I think that would be the best moment of investigation, this rabbit hole. I'm really excited that that's the process of finding it. I
Yeah.
love it. And they kind of like wow themselves, see themselves in another lives, and connecting dots and understand this is not the end of the world, like they've been living many lives before, and they will many lives after this one, and have that spark back.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we find that nice place, that juicy information, where's the that trigger,
Trigger. Yeah.
we will tackle it.
Right.
And after or in the process, usually they recommend them to meditate, to come back to the spirituality and stay there, because it's in the for very long role, like it would help them in life continue have that spark,
Yeah.
continue have that connection with the higher self, or I call it oversoul.
Yeah, that is so important. So
And it
important.
really helps, to
Mhm.
stay
Yeah.
focused on yourself, on your health, and
Yeah.
you know
So
quality of life.
what
Yeah.
so I have a couple of questions that I wanted to ask you that you've sort of answered, but I was hoping you could elaborate on. First of all, how do you know you have been successful with a client? And secondly, um, do you track and measure their progress throughout the course of treatment? And how long does treatment usually take? That's three questions.
That's all
You-
right. That's all right. I understand. So how I know, how is it helped or not. First of all, definitely they would tell me them progress. They would say, "Oh my God, I just caught myself not to be triggered there." That's wonderful. That's just amazing. Only there, all they would just call and say, "Hey, I feel so good not to be triggered, not to take, certain whatever they were doing it." And I feel really good. Like I feel like the power is in me, for first time. That's really positive,
That's
very good
great.
news. Yes. And then I would also that's what I'm co-owner of that Soul Scribe with AI. AI helps us, so we put the whole session in, and AI, it's pretty smart. I'm really kind of glad that we have that tool now.
Right.
You can put the whole session in, and it would give you all kinds of short stories
Yeah.
about your session, poems, of course, but I'm looking for always a meditation for these people, specifically about them, about those triggers, like very individual. I can make meditations for them, or what's that called? Uh,
Affirmations.
Affirmations. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, because they need to feel that string again in
Right.
Yeah.
They
them,
have they have to, it's my
Mhm,
understanding with addiction, one of the reasons it's so difficult and so why so many
mhm.
clients fail is because they don't have the support after the treatment.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
it's good that you are providing that.
Yes, we I do that, and it helps them, either I record my voice with the music, we do like a short video.
Yeah.
It's usually sits in the YouTube for them, specifically for them, privates. They can get into it any minute and anywhere, and they can listen. Sometimes when they got that trigger moment, they
Yeah.
need to listen that information again and maybe meditate for 10-15 minutes to get them attention as much as possible out, of that.
So, how do you handle setbacks or relapses during the course of your treatments? You said that they last
Mhm.
anywhere from 1 to 6 treatments. Is that right?
Uh-huh. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would just see where it break, where it was soft, like breaking point where we lost. And everybody is very different,
Yeah.
depend what triggers was. Some triggers not that, difficult than others. Um, Especially it's very hard when it's in your house, somebody there all the time. That's
Yeah.
the toughest, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you cannot get out.
Hmm.
Some people could just move out, they're all broke up with someone, but if it's your mother or father,
Or
or some.
children involved.
Yep, yep. That's tough.
Yes.
So it's like extra toughness right there. So meditations are helping, affirmations, or we need to do another session and see where we left off, when we need to
Yeah.
pick it up.
So it
And
sounds like it,
it's a process.
Okay.
right, it is a
Hmm.
process. And
Hmm.
so it sounds to me like you also help them to expose their light more and to
Hmm.
diminish the darkness,
Exactly.
because we know that these attacks, sometimes they can be called psychic attacks, sometimes physical attacks through attachments,
Yep.
can we see it all the time. Jennifer and I do, and what we do, as you have expressed what you have gone through as well.
Hmm.
So, how would you compare this to somebody who is getting regular clinical psychology or that kind of therapy?
I would say it's good. It's a good start. There is information there as well. There is the good tools as well there. And everyone is very, very different. No one is the same. And we should not ever treat our clients as the cookie cutter. And sometimes psychiatry could be as a cookie cutter, but I think both really good. I think they do them
Right.
job, and we could pick it up and find something else. But it's a good start there. Yes,
Because
definitely.
addiction is so
Hmm.
complex.
Hmm.
There's no one size fits all treatment for
Yes.
individuals.
Hmm.
I have had some uh, very personal experience with people in my family who have fought addiction,
Me too.
and
I got 4 of them.
it's interesting to
Hmm.
see how different modalities
Yes.
help them in different ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish. Well, I was little that time when my four people, members of my family and my mom's side, they passed away from it.
Wow.
I wish I would have these tools earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the biggest challenge that you have run across when you are dealing with clients with addiction?
That is one. There is always one, right? There is one, and it's when you fight with them and you're standing on the side, and then you can see they not sure, or they change the mind.
Mm.
And that moment is very difficult, because you're almost there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But something's changed, life happened, you know, and I learned how to let it go. It's okay. As I've been showing, it's I need to let it go, that person, because they simply not and yet with them some sort of
They're just not
contract or
right.
learning
They're
or
not ready. They're not ready.
yeah,
There's still some more that they
there is more
feel
something they need to receive
right.
through
They
that pain.
yeah, I understand that. I
Hmm.
completely understand that.
And I learned how to respect that.
Yeah. It's really apparent that you love your work, and that's
Hmm.
just so beautiful. What would you say is, what would you say you get the most joy from doing this
That
addiction work?
Yes, that's the hunt for the trigger.
The hunt for the trigger.
Yes. Yes, I'm like a cat after the laser light.
That's so
Right,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is funny.
Yes, yes. It's really interesting, that moment. It's that hunt. Uh-huh. I enjoy that.
Yeah. It's ever changing. The work is just every single thing is different every
It's
time.
so different, and it's like, wow, where we go now? It's like a time machine slash, contract and angels and a higher self. It's kind of magical.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel that present of, something is with you in the room. They working with you shoulder to shoulder, sort of. It's not just us. It's a whole team
The
That's
out
whole
so
there.
team.
true. So
Hmm.
true. And boy, there's nothing like feeling that
Oh,
when
yes.
you are in the middle of helping someone to heal themselves, because ultimately that's what's
Yeah.
happening. Is we're not healing them, they're healing themselves.
Yes.
What sort of examples can you give us in terms of why people are fighting addictions? What do you see in a lot of your clients? Is it different in every case, or is there sort of a general idea that this type of client has a tendency to have these types of attachments? This type this type of client has a tendency to deal with some trauma that they had in the mother's womb. What
Hmm.
what do you experience when you're dealing with them?
So I think it's just because they picked that up, for themselves. Uh, Basically, usually I did ask once, I said, why do we have so many attachments in the arms? Like there was 3 in one arm and 3 in another one.
Hmm.
I'm like, wow, that's a lot. And the attachments, they said one, professional thief, a homeless person, uh, abuser, some kind, like many years, that uh, human in the past, was abused whole lot of people, and he was in jail as well, like out there, and all kinds of others. Like there was such a very bad team to me, to have that in the arms of young lady. And they said she have with all of them contracts. She
Oh,
invited them, she picked them. And I'm like, why would I pick them? I just asked the oversoul, right? And they said, well, she did that because she's on the fast track. That was the answer. That was like word to word. She's in the fast track, and she did not experience those lessons, those, traumas or whatever she will get herself in, and then she need to get it out of that situations, but they're learning lessons, the process of learning lessons to have them there because she's in the fast track and because she picked them.
yeah.
So, like, wow. So it
She's-
is
She
Well,
stacked them up for a
no
reason.
cookie cutter. Like,
Yeah.
how that could happen? Why would I do that to myself?
right.
But as we find out, we're all like so exciting to come here on earth and have all this excitement, experiences, and we're so adventurous when we pick them.
And it's interesting that you were speaking of the client that had three different attachments with the arms. And when you think about it, thievery and being homeless and stealing, etc.,
Yes.
their arm or
Yeah.
arms were the actual tool
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they utilized throughout their life. And so it was almost as if metaphorically those attachments were making those arms and hands do the stealing.
Move. Yeah. Let's grab that.
Right. Isn't that
Let's
interesting?
do, hit someone with this arm and I or steal with this arm. And I'm like, and they were like so proud that they're professionals. It's
Yeah.
just, like, wow.
And I do want to interject too that anybody that is listening that is considering this type of hypnotherapy for their
Mhm.
addiction, if you are in or under the care of a doctor of sorts, please continue. We never
Yeah.
recommend that you stop treatment. This is something that we help you do in conjunction to.
Yes.
It's for people who feel that
Mhm.
whatever they're receiving through their doctors or their psychologists or their counselors, they could use a little extra support.
Yes.
Yes, and I think they could, yes, they do need all kinds of support. The more the better. They need to feel that they need it, the people love them, the people
Mhm.
care for them. That's big one.
Hypnotherapy is really, really good at
Hmm.
increasing a person's success by addressing the contributing factors, like independence and self-esteem and emotional
Hmm.
traumas and
Yeah.
resolving conflicts between the conscious and the subconscious motivations for the
Hmm.
addictions. So, yeah, it works really well in conjunction with all sorts of other
Yeah.
modalities of healing.
And
So
I noticed when that happened, when I need to make people hear me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes they not just listening, they hear you. Uh, and when I channel, they usually tell me words, how to say certain things and
Yeah.
when, or
Hmm.
ask certain
Sure.
question. Like they will, make them understand, but read between lines, sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And it would be like, really, I don't feel comfortable to say that way. It would be too sharp, I think. Like I'm like, come on now, I just see this person first time in my office. Like, why would I say something like that? So I would sugarcoat it around, And they like, no, you just spoiled it. Say it exactly how we
Right.
said it. I'm like, okay, I'm about to say something very sharp. Please forgive me, but I've been told stop sugarcoating and just say it the way it is. And please let me know if you understand what I mean. And they like, oh wow, when you said it this way, I understand.
See, because they're guides that you're
They know
channeling.
what's up.
They understand the client. They know the client. They know exactly what
Mhm.
that client needs to hear and the way they need to
Yep,
hear it. You know,
they know them inside out.
this has
Yes.
nothing to
Yeah.
do with addiction, but I'd like to discuss the time that you did a session on, or I was doing a session on you,
Oh yeah.
and we were approaching almost 4 hours, I think.
Yes.
And
By the way, you did a good job. Thank you
oh,
so much.
bless you. Thank
It
you.
was such an amazing session. Woo.
It really was. But speaking in terms of channeling,
Oh yeah.
I assumed, which a practitioner should never do, I assumed that it would be probably closer to about 3 hours.
Yeah, it
My
was long.
husband, we were having a birthday party for him at a restaurant, and we had reservations. And I kept looking at the clock and thinking, oh gosh, this is such an amazing session. We're
It
doing
was.
such great work here, but I have to go. How do I interrupt that? I don't want to interrupt it. So I was just, and really trying to stay focused. And suddenly your guys came through and said, we understand that you're very nervous about something. You apparently have some kind of a date, something that you have, some sort of thing you have to be at by a certain time, and it is causing you to be very distracted. So we should probably end it now and pick it up another time. And I was completely flabbergasted, and I felt like a child, you know. I mean, they were really scolding me, like, why would you be doing this when you have a party to go to? and and so we did end the session, but boy, I never forgot that. And that also told me how amazing
They know.
your channeling ability is. That was
Uh-huh.
really
They just
fascinating to me.
they just know. They see things we like somewhere, somehow more than us. They have this ability that we don't.
Yeah, that's
We
so true.
very limited.
Hmm.
So it's very, very cool to have someone to, letting you know what's going on. Don't do this, don't do that,
Yeah.
So what are the types of addictions that you have seen most often?
Um, for me, I have people drinking and drugs. Not so much eating. It was only once, maybe 5 times, just a little bit. No, no smoking, but drugs and drinking. It's pretty heavy ones.
Well, gosh, Elena, there's a million more questions that I would love to ask. So I hope that you'll come back on and join us again, because I
Yes,
feel like
sure.
there's still so many things that are left unsaid and untouched. I will make sure that all of your information and a way that you can be reached by different
Sure.
clients will be down below in the description. I would like to take this time to ask all of you who have enjoyed this particular episode to please like and subscribe. You can also find information as to how to reach Jennifer and how to reach myself. We'll put all of that down as well.
Thank you
So
so much.
thank you again. And
Thank you so much.
we will see everyone next week on Souls on Tap. Thank you.
Thank you.